Hello, everyone. I'm Dixie Rich from the Barryville Arts Association. Throughout history, censorship has thwarted the creative expression of men and women, often with the best of motives. Censors have banned and destroyed great works of art. Offending artists were sometimes barred from creating any more art, sometimes tortured, and sometimes killed. Vatican censors have painted clothes on the work of Michelangelo. Nazi censors confiscated artwork created by Jews. Stalin tried to erase his enemies from history by altering historical photos. Barryville Arts Association's Censored exhibit offers up just a few of the great works of art that were thought offensive by political or religious leaders. In some cases, we display prints of the actual images banned or confiscated. In other cases, we display works of art censored by us, just to demonstrate the absurdity of some of the censors. We'd really like to tell censors what we think of them, but that would violate YouTube terms of service. Censors. Censored is an exhibit sponsored by the Barryville Area Arts Association that includes works of art that have been criticized, banned, and even destroyed by censors. We're displaying these great works of art that have survived and thrived long after the small-minded censors who attacked them are gone and forgotten. Consider Michelangelo's 1565 masterpiece, The Last Judgment. On display at the exhibit, it shows human souls on their way to their final reward or punishment. Assuming souls wouldn't pack a suitcase for this journey, Michelangelo drew them unclothed. But later, a censor who thought he knew better had one of Michelangelo's students paint loincloths on them. The Origin of the World by Gustave Courbet, 1866. The Origin of the World is probably the most famous painting in the world that almost nobody has seen. Commissioned by an art collector who was a Turkish diplomat, Origin was not known publicly until 129 years after its creation. But its reputation spread like wildfire as a work of art that most people were not ready to appreciate. Courbet painted many nudes, but this close-up stretched the tradition. Origin has been openly displayed at the Sotheby's Gallery in New York City and Musée d'Orsay in Paris, but the world still may not be ready for it. It's Facebook's policy to take the post down and suspend the user's account, so we hope they like this new one we made to comply with Facebook policies. Portrait of Nikolai Yevtsov, or maybe not. Nikolai Yevtsov had served in the Russian Tsar's army, but joined the Bolsheviks for their October Revolution. He also fought in the Red Army during the Russian Civil War. He then rose through the ranks of the Communist Party and led the purges that killed or imprisoned hundreds of thousands of people suspected of disloyalty. But Stalin suspected him too. It's bad form to be seen standing next to somebody you recently had executed, so Joseph Stalin had Nikolai Zerhov's edited out of his picture. It's just one of many examples of similar editing that occurred during Stalin's rule. Un Canot by Jean Metzinger, 1913. Missing, an oil on canvas by Jean Metzinger, 146 by 114 centimeters. Confiscated by the Nazis around 1936. It was last seen in their Degenerate Art exhibition in Munich in 1937. The Nazi regime called almost all modern art and avant-garde art degenerate art. It could get banned for being considered un-German, Jewish, or communist. The degenerate art exhibit was meant to ridicule art that the Third Reich thought to be harmful or repugnant, and this work was included with about 700 others in the exhibit. Maybe Un Canot isn't the best painting in the world, but it hasn't harmed or repulsed anyone we've shown it to so far. So we're taking a chance and showing it in its original uncensored form. The Feast of the House of Levi by Paolo Veronese, 1573. When a fire destroyed Titian's work in a Dominican friary, Veronese was asked to paint a replacement. He gladly complied, painting a fantasy version of the Last Supper. Veronese was paid for his efforts with an investigation by the Roman Catholic Inquisition. He was asked to explain why the painting contained buffoons, drunken Germans, dwarfs, and other such squirreries, as well as extravagant costumes. Ordered to change the painting within 3 months, Veronese simply changed the name. The feast in the house of Levi is also a scene from the Gospels, but it wasn't held in the same regard as the Last Supper, and the Gospels do mention that sinners were present. After he changed the name, nothing more was said. The score after this matchup was Veronese 1 and Censors 0. I hope you enjoy this exhibit, and please come and see us sometime. In fact, anytime.